Okay, someone else asked the question here, and she said, is it wrong for a lady to marry an established man, or is it a must that every lady must marry a man that is still going through process, that is struggling financially and other aspects of life? Thank you so much. It's not a law, all right? It's not a law that every lady must marry an established man, or every lady must, struggle with a man before he becomes established and all of that. I always say that God's perfect will is not in one person. So you can't really say that I'm destined for this person. So it's a choice. God can present to you just the same way he paraded Eve before Adam, and Adam made his choice. He paraded other animals, but there wasn't a suitable helpmeet for Adam in those animals. It was when God paraded Eve that he made his choice and said, this is woman, this is bone of my bone. I will call her Eve. All right, I will call her woman because she was taken out of man. So love is a command, like I said, but relationship is a choice. So if God is directing you towards someone, okay, and probably the person you've seen that this person doesn't really have the required, the person it doesn't really is not let me use the word is not compatible with you. You have the liberty to walk away, or probably you feel that okay, this person has everything I need, and you're not really attracted to the person. You have the liberty to walk away. So it doesn't really matter whether the person just started his assignment or is at the finish line of his assignment. Now let me give this example. Just imagine a man in a field filled with grasses, filled with a lot of weeds, and that man is expected to build a house in that field. He was actually given a land, which that land is called his assignment, and his assignment is to plow the land and build a house in the same land. He started off in his work, and at that early stage, before, let's give an example that there are two men in this at different land, giving different lands, and they've been told to plow that land and build a house. The two men started off at the beginning of the first man at the beginning of that assignment, which is to start plowing the land. He met three ladies. These three ladies have all the equipment needed for that to plow the land. Probably they are all carrying cutlass, carrying shovel. Let's say all the three ladies have all the required materials to plow the land and to help the man build the house. The first lady came and observed that the land is too bushy, I can't walk here, and she walks away. The second lady comes and observed that this man hasn't even started building the house, it's too long, how long will it take? All the energy, I don't need stress, and she walks away. The third lady comes and observed that you know okay, let's see, it's a privilege for me to see the beginning of this man and to see how the building and the field will be cleared and the building starts off. It's going to be a beautiful sight, and it's going to be a privilege to be part of the start and to be part of the finish of this assignment. So she hops in, but take note, all three ladies have the same equipment, or they have the same capacity for the same work, but based on their different desires, all right, or based on their different choices, they decided to either stay or to leave. Do you understand? Let's go to the second man. The second man have already started. The two men started at the same time, but the second man had already gone far. He had finished clearing and plowing the land, and he has already started building. But he has not yet, he has mounted the building, or probably he has laid the foundations and built up until the roof level. And what remains is to roof the house. And these three ladies come, two ladies, let's give an instance that those two ladies who left the first man came and met the second man, having the same capacity for the work. At that point, they may not be the one making the choice anymore. Both of them will see it as a privilege to, want to be part of something that is already finished. Not knowing the stress it took the man from the beginning, from the onset. They will feel that it's a privilege. Oh wow, it's nice to, witness the glamour, the everything, because the man has almost gotten to the finish line. Well, now at that point, the man will be more discreet in his choice. They will no longer have the privilege to make the choice themselves. Remember, the first man needed so much hands, so he can really to him, he will feel privileged for any lady to come join him because the work is too massive and it will really be good for a woman to help out at that level. So at that point, the women can make the choice. Okay, I can either stay or go. But for the second man, he will not really see it as a privilege for a woman to be coming at that level because he has done almost all the work. He will be very discerning, knowing if they were actually coming because he had already finished it, or they truly want to help at the level he is. So he will be the one making the choice. They will no longer be privileged per se to make the choice. The choice now will be left with the man. Even though God has told them that this may be the man, it is now the man making the choice to choose between those two. And he's going to be checking motives. So he's going to do a lot of tests on these people to know who is fit to feature with him at that level. Because where he is now is more sensitive than when he started. Any mistake can make that building go crashing down. So he has toiled so much, he won't just allow anybody come in. But the first man, seeing that the work is so massive, can just allow anyone at that level, knowing that he's just building, he just started his work. All right, so they can both be growing together, making mistakes together and all that. But the second man will not give room for much mistakes. He will be going for mastery. So at that level, he will be the one making the choice. Even though God has told him this may be the person, he will make the choice based on discernment. And at this point, he will need a clear word from God. The first man may not really need a clear word. All right, he may just make choices based on, okay, she has the capacity for me and she has the capacity for my vision, and okay, since I'm just starting, all right, he can make the choice based on, she has the capacity and she's going the same way with him. He may make the choice based on what the scriptures, according to the scriptural basis for choosing, do not be unequally. Okay, she has the requisite requirements, so I don't necessarily need this is the one. He just goes ahead. All right, but the second one will need a clarity from God. Why? Because he's at a very sensitive stage in his assignment and he wouldn't want any mistake. So he will need so much discernment, so much clarity, even if they all have the same potential for the work. Let's take for instance that the second man has made his choice for a wife. He has picked based on clarity because his own is based on clarity. The first man chose based on alignment of purpose, and attraction and other criteria he saw in the scripture. But the second man made his own based on God's voice. But the truth is, the first man who got married to the woman who met him at the beginning of that journey, there will be so much honor accorded to the woman who paid the price, because knowing that this woman stayed even when there was nothing, even when she had not seen the beauty, even when she had not seen, do you understand? There will be so much honor accorded. That is where you will see a man who is glued to his wife. There won't be separation. You'll be like, is this man, did this woman use a spell on him? No. It's because through time they built teamwork, they came into agreement, the intimacy grew so much. Even while they were learning, they made mistakes together, they celebrated their success together. There was so much memory built while they were doing the work. They failed together, they cried together. So they went through the process together. So the woman will be held in high esteem more. Even though the scripture wants every man to love their wife equally as Christ loved the church. But this is a psychology that goes on in marriage. And most people, you'll notice that the man will always want to go out to his work because he feels that the woman somewhat doesn't really, that is where you'll see a man who, okay, in the first case scenario where the first man got married to a woman who started the journey with him, who went through the process and all that, the week or the struggle with him, there will be so much knitting of hearts. They will do almost everything literally together. This is the psychology that happens because of all the tests they went through together, the failures they went through together, the success they went through together. But the one who married a man who had already been established, probably just little thing remaining for him to, he will still love the woman. But the psychology that plays out is that he feels he is the hero of the whole thing. He got everything by himself. There was no support system, that is, as a woman figure. That is what I, so he didn't literally have that help. All right. So he went through the process all by himself. You will see the man preserving everything. That is, any little thing the woman does that may want to alter what he has built, that will be the basis of the issue in the home. You will notice that they will have more issues when the woman tries to, any mistake. If the woman makes any single mistake as touching what he has built, there will be a struggle for him to adjust. There will be a struggle. Do you understand? In the second man place, this is the kind of scenario where you see a man always going out to his business and leaving the wife behind. This is the case where you will see a man trying to do all the thing by himself because he started like that. He's already used to doing it alone, so he will always want to do it alone. He rather allow the woman enjoy the wealth and go out being the hero. Do you understand? That's where you see the woman trying to find herself, trying to play all the role. But he'll be like, there's nothing else to do. Just enjoy the money while I still go out, continue doing my stuff. Because going back to teach the woman what he has done will be like a stress. It will be like, there's no need, all right? It will be like him going back to what he had already started. And there's no actual need for that. So you see a woman enjoying the wealth while the man hustling, while the man doing his thing. Do you understand? So he will not really parade so much with it. You notice that he's always alone doing his thing. All right. So whenever he wants to achieve, whenever he wants to, attribute his success story, the woman is not so much featured. That is for the second man. The woman is not really featured in it. All right. He does his things, and the woman is not always there whenever he's going for trips, whenever he wants to go for anything that has to do with his business. But he will love his wife as Christ. So it's the psychology. It now takes a lot of patience. It now takes a lot of mind work. It now takes a lot of, patience for him to now carry that same woman along. So it's a lot of work on his end because the wife met him towards the end while he was already established. So it's a lot of work on his own end to carry the woman along. So you see him giving the woman a part of it and just allowing her to do her thing while he focuses, because he feels that anytime she's with him, it's more like she's drawing him behind. She's drawing him behind. So you notice that the man and the wife will not be too knitted. So the only time they have together, they'll make most of it. But they have few times together than all the time together. Are you seeing? So that is what it is. So it is not bad. It's not a law. It's not a rule that you must meet a man while he's struggling and all that. The women will be the one who will either feel not being carried along or feeling, do you understand? So that is what it is. So I believe this should help someone out there. So while making your choice, if God tells you, start with a man who has not yet been established, you can now decide based on what you already know. Or you can marry a man who is already established. You can go ahead. If the man loves God, there will be no difference. He will still treat you like a queen. But this is the psychology that plays out in the man's mind. All right. This is like a prince. It just works out like that. All right. This is the psychology that happens. So whenever you now start feeling left behind, don't give up. Just keep pushing. There will be a point that you will find your place and everything will be perfect together. And